So today I'm filming a new video. So today I'm going to be filming a study with me video, but it's going to be a little bit different. I'm basically just going to talk you guys through the kind of things that I do to revise. I have my AS levels coming up, in case you didn't know. So yeah, that's what I'm revising for. So yeah, I'm just going to show you the different ways that I revise, like I said. But obviously this won't work for everyone, but yeah, it's just a few tips and tricks if you need some help on how to revise. Yeah, let's just get into it. So the first thing I do is I take notes. So I have a notebook for each of my subjects, and basically I will go through all my past notes that I've took in class, which I put in separate binders, which I'll do a separate video on, just explaining how I store my files and stuff. But yeah, basically I will just go through my old notes and just take out the most important bits and put it into my notebook. And yeah, so for example, I have got this notebook here. This one I use for my media, so yeah, I just kind of highlight bits and bobs. Highlighting is like my favourite thing to do, so yeah, this is just how I do it. So I just kind of write definitions for things and what they mean and just certain things like that. And in media we have set text, so we have one, like, we're actually doing Zoella for our online text, so I've kind of wrote down all the key points about our set text and things like that, so I remembered that. So this is my media binder that I keep at home. I basically have a binder for each subject, and then I have a main binder, which is also down on the floor down here, which I take to college with me every day, which has like all of my subjects in, and then I put in the most recent notes that I've took that day or whatever in that binder. So obviously I have my little binder dividers, and yeah, it's just got all the different sections that I have for my media, so it's a lot easier to organise it in my notebook. And yeah, I will just take down the most important bits, like I said, and put them in the notebook. So this is my English one. Here I have a lot more kind of grids and things like that as well, which I find really helpful. And in English language we get given 4 books like this, like little booklets. So for example, this one's accent and dialect. So basically I will go through these books and I will highlight again. Like, this is a massive big article bit telling you about received pronunciation. I can't actually say that word. Pronunciation. Received pronunciation. Yeah. RP anyway. And I've just gone through and highlighted the most key bits that I need and things like that. And also in the front we have got a bunch of linguists, like names of people basically and what they do. So obviously I have wrote that down in my notebook because that's like the most important bit. Another thing I like to do are mind maps. I'm sure everybody loves a good mind map because you can use fun colours, and that's why I love it really. So for English I find this the easiest for, and basically because we have these separate books, so they've got different linguists for each one. So for example, like the accent and dialect one, I will do a mind map of all the linguists, like people in there, and just break down what I've already wrote about them. So for example, I have done genderlect, which is basically like gender bias in language and stuff. So here I have wrote down all the different people and what they do, and then I've just summarised that in a mind map here. So yeah, that's what I've done, and yeah, I just keep that all in my notebook, so I've got it all and stuff. And yeah, definitions and things like that are really good for this. Another thing I find really useful is printing off revision guides. Now I always do this at college because, you know, saving money at home, but we actually got given these ones for sociology, so I don't actually have I did start doing a proper notebook for sociology, but then I thought it would be so much easier just to use the booklets that we get given in sociology. So this one we got given at a special little conference we had, and basically it's got literally everything we need to revise in here. It is so good. It's got mind maps already made up for you and like special grids and things like that to revise from, and kind of topic overviews here, and exam specification, what do you need to know, and basically the generic way that a question is kind of put in an exam. So for example, it's got like the 20-mark questions here, which is like applying material from item A and your knowledge, evaluate the usefulness of la la la. Yeah, you get me. So this is like really helpful. I honestly find revision guides like really useful, so if you can use them, then obviously that's great. So another thing I do is create a little revision timetable. Now obviously I'm one of them people that find it really hard to use a revision timetable, because obviously some nights I might go around Elliot's or something, and therefore I can't do that revision that I'd set for that night because I'm going around his, etc, etc. So it doesn't always go to plan basically. But in my main binder that I have for college, I have got this revision timetable that we actually got given at college, and it's really helpful because it's got kind of like these shaded in grids which are which show the holidays and weekends and things like that. So I've basically wrote on each day in one of my bright coloured pens what revision I am doing, and then I will just cross out the day in green. This was irrelevant because I only started it here, so yeah. But as you can see guys, we're now on this day here, and I've only got 4 weeks I think left of college, and then we have got our exams starting basically, which is really scary, but we've got a month off study leave, and my exams are all in the first 2 weeks, so that means that I've got like 2 weeks off to do anything I want, and that's after my exams as well, so it means that I've got no stress about exams during that time, so that's great. So another thing that is really helpful to obviously help you revise is doing it with your friends. Now I always do this with Elliot, because we're like round each other's quite a lot, we actually do revision together, and basically we'll just grab out our books and stuff and we'll just test each other on because we both take English together, we'll both test each other on English linguists, and yeah, just basically go through what they do and things like that, and we'll go through past questions and answer them to each other and things like that. And it's just so much more helpful having someone there with you, because if I I'm about to explain what a linguist does, I'll probably end up looking back at my notes rather than thinking about it for myself as much, if you get what I mean. That didn't really make sense, but yeah, I will tend to look back and cheat a little bit, so having someone with you to do it with you means you're actually doing it and it's actually going in. I also keep a little diary for myself. So this one I actually got from Paper Chase. I'm pretty sure I've shown it to you guys before, but it's just got kind of days like this, so it's got a week over 2 pages, and I just write in again what kind of revision I want to do, and it's really helpful to plan ahead so I know when my exams are and things like that, so I've got it all wrote in, and then I can plan around that when I'm going to do revision for that specific subject and things like that. So yeah, diaries and planners are really helpful for this. Another thing is obviously flashcards. So I like flashcards, but I don't at the same time. They've never really helped me before. I did some during GCSE and I didn't really think that they helped me, but I did them for sociology and they have helped me so much. Sorry about that, it just cut off because my card was full. But yeah, as I was saying, so for sociology I have basically wrote the sociologist's name down, and then so for example here is a sociologist called Wag. Well, their name isn't actually Wag, that's their last name, but yeah, anyway. And I wrote next to it childhood because it's in the childhood section of sociology, because we've got different sections like education and things like that. And then on the other side I've obviously wrote what they do and then highlighted key bits. And I've also done the same with a few definitions as well for childhood, like that section of sociology and the definitions, and these have honestly helped me so much, which is so weird because I've never got on with revision cards before. So yes, also these are really easy things to just whack out in the middle of the day, at lunchtime, at break time, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, and just go through them. Like, it's the easiest thing, although they might take a while to do. They're just so easy to use, and yeah. So the final thing that I do is I will do past paper questions, and I will basically plan out an answer for them. We do this mainly in sociology, and we've actually got these what are they called, booklet things, and this is basically what we use. Like, we don't really take many notes in sociology, we just go through these, highlight them and answer questions and things like that. So I will just look back over these booklets as well and take down keynotes, but obviously also we've got quite a few kind of questions going throughout these booklets, which just, yeah, like for example, there's like, what are the characteristics of the lads anti-school subculture, and yeah, I will just go through and answer them and learn them, because the more and more past paper questions you do, the more easier it becomes to kind of answer the question, because you know how you're going to structure it and you kind of know the rhythm. I don't know how to explain it, but you kind of know what is coming up, kind of thing. And we always do loads of practice paper questions. Our teacher always goes through how to structure them, which I find really, really helpful. So for example, here I have done a 10 marker plan. So we get a question, highlight the key things in the question. I put down how long we get for that certain question, because knowing that in your head is also really helpful, because if you've got like a 10 marker and a 20 marker and you don't know how long to kind of take on each question, then that's obviously going to be a bit of a struggle, because you might take longer on the 10 marker than you should have, and then you'll have less time to do the rest. So that's also really helpful. And then I'll write out the structure of how to answer it, and then I will put a little example for the actual practice question that I've been given. And yeah, I'll just basically break down the question and write down things to do with it. So yeah, I don't know if any of this is making sense, but you know, I think that is pretty much everything. The only other thing that I would say is take breaks. Now, I do my revision slightly differently to how other people would do it, because I actually put on something on the TV and I will do it on my bed. Even though I have a desk, I can't do it on my desk. I don't know why, but I just can't. So I always put the TV on, and I put YouTube on usually, and I just have it on in the background, just because then it's not putting as much strain on my brain, kind of thing, rather than sitting there in silence like writing out loads of stuff. So I will just sit there, relax, and yeah, just get myself in a really comfortable position on my bed, and it just makes it a lot easier and a lot more like I want to do revision, rather than, because if I kind of had in my head that I was just going to sit there in silence and do revision, that does not appeal to me at all. But knowing that I'm watching YouTube at the same time does appeal to me. Because I'm obviously watching YouTube as well as doing revision, when I take breaks I like to kind of go speak to people, because I hate kind of being closed in and not being able to speak to anyone and things like that. So I'll go speak to people, eat food, or I will read a book, because I've been really into reading at the moment. So yeah, that is what I tend to do during my little breaks that I take. But yeah, I'll just make sure I do, like, even if it's just like an hour every day of revision, it's just so helpful. And yeah. So as I said, I hope this made sense to you guys. It was kind of confusing me what I was saying, but yeah, I hope this will help you guys if you're struggling with revision. I struggled so much with revision in GCSEs. I find it so much easier during A-level. Like, I don't know why. Everyone says that it's so much harder, but to be honest, I find it so much easier because they're subjects that I want to take and that I can actually do. and it's obviously a lot more easier to revise for because there's less of them. Why does this happen in every single video? So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, and also make sure to leave a comment on what you want to see next. I'm sorry I took a little bit of a break. Again, it's not really a break, it's just I've been doing revision and I completely forgot to film anything and things like that. Yeah, there's not a lot I can do, but I'm on Easter holidays at the moment, so yeah, I've just been doing stuff every single day, and this is like one of my first 3 days, so yes. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all very, very soon with a new one. Bye!